Hey everybody, Randy Walker here with New Chapter Press. We're known as one of the global leaders in tennis book publishing. As you may or may not know, we might be the premier global publisher of tennis books. And I want to talk a little bit about our title, Juan Martin del Potro, The Gentle Giant. This was published in 2020, and just want to talk a little bit about kind of where we are with this book, etc., and give a little background about book publishing and so forth. So when you are a book publishing company, we're a legitimate book publishing company. We have a distributor out of Chicago, IPG. They market to brick and mortar bookstores around the world, as well as online retailers, Amazon.com, etc., and so forth. So when the book is registered with IPG, all sorts of marketing materials are put into it, etc., that is used to market to all these book buyers around the world. And then what they do is they come back to us and say, hey, we have a certain amount of pre-orders that we've gotten, just to give you a little bit of a indication on how popular or how unpopular a book is. So I don't specifically remember, what it was for Juan Martin del Potro, the Gentle Giant, but he was really hot property then. He had just gotten to the finals of the U.S. Open in 2018 and was known as one of the more popular players in tennis, etc. And we were rocking and rolling and ready to come out with this first ever English language biography of Juan Martin del Potro. We went through this process with Roger Federer, and the book that we published by Renee Stauffer a few years ago in 2000 and when was that? 2007, I believe, is when we published that. And we went through our first print run in 2 weeks. So we were a little bullish on Juan Martin del Potro, perhaps not as bullish as Roger Federer, but for starters, he was having some bad injury problems, etc., that he actually never really recovered from, as he just this year announced his retirement. We were going to launch at the 2019 U.S. Open, a year after his win or his runner-up finish at the U.S. Open, and it was 10 years since he won the 2009 U.S. Open, a 5-set win over Roger Federer. But he had to pull out of the tournament. We were having some little bit of delays anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. We tried to launch at the 2020 Delray Beach Open, or we did launch at the 2020 Delray Beach Open, but there was no Del Potro playing, etc. So then the pandemic hit. Obviously, supply chain shut down. People were, not buying books, and books were being delayed in shipping and so forth because of the pandemic, etc. So we really were behind the 8 ball. With that title. But one of the things that we get from our distributor is, updates on, how books are selling, and, we can check that pretty much every day. But we recently got an inventory report and an overstock report from IPG, and just want to share some of these numbers, with you. So as of right now, this is July 19th, 2022. We have 711 copies of Juan Martin del Potro, The Gentle Giant, in storage, in stock at IPG in Chicago. And what they've said is that we've had 170 books that have been sold in the last 12 months. And what they're projecting is that in the next 3 years, that 510 books will be sold, and that we have an overstock quality of 201. So basically what they're saying is you need to get rid of these books. You need to, unfortunately, the word that is known in the publishing industry with overstock books is pulp the books. So they're basically saying, you really need to pulp 200 books because they're not going to sell, etc. So here I am with a difficult decision. Do I pulp the books? Is there anybody out there who wants to buy 201 or 210 Juan Martin del Potro Gentle Giant books for for price, for whatever the cost it is to print it at cost. So if there's anybody out there, Bueller, who wants to buy Juan Martin del Potro, the Gentle Giant books, I got 210 that I can give you a good deal on. So, even the, 510 books that they're projecting over the next 3 years, that's a little ambitious considering that he's retired. And we did get a little bit of a bump this past year, with kind of the emotion of his retirement and, everybody being nostalgic about his career and so forth. And we saw some bump in his books, but, he's not out there playing. He's sending an Instagram post from, a Grand Prix race or, in front of a fireplace in the winter in Argentina, etc. So I even think that 510 prediction from our distributor is probably generous too. So anyway, if you're out there and you want to buy a bulk shipment of Juan Martin del Potro, the Gentle Giant books, contact me at rwalker@newchaptermedia.com. And you can follow us on Twitter at newchaptermedia. You can follow me on Twitter at Tennis Publisher. And I even have a Twitter profile for Juan Martin del Potro, the Gentle Giant. It's at Delpo Book. So you can follow all sorts of developments with Juan Martin's career and nostalgic look backs on his career and so forth. So anyway, it's a little bit about publishing and book publishing. And, it's not all, a garden of roses as far as sales and so forth. It's pretty much projected that 90% of books don't make money, and the average book sells about 350 copies. So it's a tough business, but certainly it's a labor of love for me, and I love tennis and I love books. So would love some more support for my tennis books, and appreciate all the people that have supported my tennis books in the past. So but that's a little bit of an update from New Chapter Press and our title, Juan Martin del Potro, the Gentle Giant. So for Randy Walker for New Chapter Press, over and out.